Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of September 8, 2024. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Casualties and equipment losses for Ukrainian forces. Ukrainian forces lost approximately 2,585 servicemen in various engagements across different regions. Ukrainian equipment losses include tanks, armored vehicles, artillery units, including Western-supplied systems like M777 howitzers and multiple field ammunition depots. Russian forces also destroyed Ukrainian electronic warfare stations and unmanned aerial vehicles production workshops.
Welcome to Frontline Updates podcast. That brings you the latest updates from the world of military operations. Today, we're honored to be joined again by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, who's here to provide a detailed update on the ongoing special military operation as of September 8, 2024. Colonel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to share today's briefing.
Let's jump right in. Colonel, could you give us an overview of the key developments from the special military operation over the last 24 hours?
Over the past day, Russian forces have continued their offensive across multiple fronts. Our groups, North, West, Southern, Center, East, and Dnepr, have all reported significant progress. We've inflicted substantial losses on the Ukrainian armed forces in terms of both manpower and equipment, while repelling several Ukrainian counterattacks.
Let's break that down a bit. Starting with the North Group of forces, what were the main actions taken in that region?
The North Group focused its efforts in the Bryansk, Liptsov, and Volchansk directions in the Kharkiv region. We engaged Ukrainian formations, including the 57th Motorized Infantry, 82nd Airborne Assault Brigade, and others. We inflicted heavy losses, with approximately 160 Ukrainian servicemen killed or wounded, and we destroyed a 122mm D-30 howitzer.
And how about the West Group of forces? We understand they were also very active.
Yes, the West Group saw significant action in the Kharkiv region and Donetsk People's Republic. We improved our tactical positions while inflicting losses on Ukrainian forces, including mechanized and airmobile brigades. Ukrainian forces lost over 550 servicemen, several armored vehicles, and artillery units, including a Polish-made Krab self-propelled artillery unit and 2 D-30 howitzers. Notably, we also destroyed 6 field ammunition depots and electronic warfare stations.
It sounds like Ukrainian equipment losses are stacking up. Can you give us more details on the Southern Group's progress?
Yes, the Southern Group continued its offensive into Ukrainian defenses in the Donetsk People's Republic, particularly around Chasiv Yar and Seversk. They inflicted significant losses on the Ukrainian 24th and 54th Mechanized Brigades, as well as the 10th Airborne Assault Brigade. Ukrainian casualties in this region were around 625 servicemen. In addition, we destroyed multiple vehicles, anti-aircraft systems, and howitzers, including both U.S. and British manufactured units.
That's a substantial number of casualties. Now, turning to the Center Group, they reportedly liberated a settlement recently. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, that's correct. The Center Group successfully liberated the settlement of Novogradovka in the Donetsk People's Republic. During this operation, we defeated several Ukrainian units, including the 47th Mechanized Brigade and the 144th Infantry Brigade. We repelled 8 Ukrainian counterattacks, which led to the loss of over 560 Ukrainian servicemen. Additionally, we destroyed tanks, armored vehicles, and multiple artillery units, including U.S.-made Max Pro combat vehicles.
It sounds like the Center Group played a critical role. Moving on to the East Group, what kind of progress did they make?
The East Group focused on securing more advantageous lines and positions in the Donetsk region. They inflicted heavy damage on Ukrainian formations, including the 58th Motorized Infantry Brigade and the 72nd Mechanized Brigade. Ukrainian forces suffered around 130 casualties in these engagements, and we destroyed several vehicles and a British-made 155mm FH-70 howitzer.
Interesting. Now, the DNEPR group operates in a different region. What can you tell us about their involvement in these operations?
The Dnipro Group has been active in the Kherson region, targeting Ukrainian coastal defense and marine brigades. Ukrainian losses in this area amounted to around 50 servicemen, along with an armored combat vehicle and multiple cars. Our forces inflicted heavy damage on their positions around settlements like Novakerry and Antonovka.
With all these operations happening on the ground, we understand that air and missile strikes have also played a key role. Can you share more about that?
Our operational tactical aviation, missile troops, and UAVs have been very active. Over the past day, we targeted 127 districts where Ukrainian forces had concentrated manpower and military equipment. Notably, we struck a temporary deployment point of the Ukrainian Special Operations Forces and workshops involved in UAV production. Additionally, our air defense systems intercepted multiple threats, including 4 French-made hammered guided bombs, 4 US-made HIMARS rockets, and 23 Ukrainian UAVs.
That's quite a robust defense. Now, shifting to the broader picture, can you give us an update on the overall losses reported by Russian forces since the start of this special military operation?
Since the operation began, we've reported the destruction of aircraft, helicopters, unmanned aerial vehicles, and tanks and armored combat vehicles. Our forces have also neutralized over 14,000 artillery pieces and mortars, along with nearly 26,000 special military vehicles. These numbers reflect the scale of the operation and the impact we've had on Ukrainian military capabilities.
That's an impressive tally. Lastly, Colonel, can you update us on the situation in the Kursk region? There have been reports of attempted Ukrainian invasions in that area.
Yes, the situation in the Kursk region remains critical, but we've successfully repelled 5 attacks by Ukrainian assault groups in settlements like Malaya Lokhnya and Cherkasskaya Konopelka. In the past 24 hours, Ukrainian forces have lost up to 40 servicemen in this area. We also destroyed several armored vehicles, including a tank and infantry fighting vehicles. In total, during the operations in the Kursk direction, Ukrainian forces have lost more than 11,220 servicemen and significant military hardware, including 87 tanks and 84 artillery pieces. It may seem that these are ordinary numbers and that this particular episode does not affect the overall situation in any way, but this is not so. The UAV flies and allows the operator to hit targets without any restrictions. This means that neither the air defense nor the electronic warfare of the Ukrainian armed forces are working in the Kursk region. Or they are working, but strictly locally.
Thank you for that detailed update, Colonel. It's clear that Russian forces have been making significant progress across multiple fronts. Before we conclude, is there anything else you'd like to add?
The very fact of using the Inokodets UAV indicates that significant progress has been made in automating the hunt for armored vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces. For a long time, the use of these drones in the frontline zone was difficult due to the large number of air defense systems, including portable ones. Lastly, there is more than 1 or 2 drones of this type operating in the Kursk direction. Parallel or alternate duty of UAVs with missiles allows for the establishment of an unmanned carousel over the places where mobile groups of the Ukrainian armed forces are moving. The Ukrainian side, when operating in the Kursk region, has only a ground component, which significantly limits both the speed of maneuver and its depth, and also negatively affects the safety of the groups.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics, and thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
I want to remind everyone that our forces are dedicated to their goals, and we will keep advancing until we complete our mission. Thank you for having me. In the last 24 hours, at least 31 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks across Gaza, including 8 at a school sheltering displaced people. Also, 3 Israeli private security guards were killed in an attack at the King Hussein Allenby Bridge on the border between the occupied West Bank and Jordan.